And good afternoon. It is Friday. I hope your Friday is going well and a great anticipation of the weekend to come. So, today we're going to talk about our continuing of social business, and we're going to talk about social business and microfinance. One of those things that, you know, that helped start this whole idea of social business. So we kind of skip directly to social business, but to bring everybody up to speed, we do want to talk about what is microfinance, microcredit. And that was the founding idea of, Dr. Eunice when he started the Grameen Bank, and and it was a bank for the poor people that he had started, and the bank made small loans to poor women there uh, in Bangladesh. So, and he actually started off with $27, where he had given women, and I think it was about 40 different customers, and they had been borrowing money from a what we would call a loan shark, and the loan shark was charging them high, extreme interest rates. And what he did was he took $27 of his own money and he gave it to the women to pay off their debts. By paying off their debts, they were, out of the high interest rate. They paid back the money, and then there was other people he thought would benefit from it. And he also started loaning money. Eventually, it got to the status of a bank, the Green Bank, that had close to $1 billion in loans and assets, and it was doing really well. And from that, they decided to launch this program of social business, those business that would help the people achieve whatever they had wanted to do, and that's what he did. Uh, it could be as far as starting uh, a little business that you go out and buy a box of chocolates and you sell them to the neighborhood, or it could be buying seeds so that you can grow a different crop, or it could be uh, a number of things. But these were all small business loans, not gigantic loans that we would think about, because the people did not need money in that sums that to start a business. And then he came up with the idea of social business so that those ideas where people were actually solving a problem of nutrition, health, or telecommunication, they decided to fund those business. One of the first ones they started was the telephone women. As we know, in Congo, there is cell phones, but everybody can't afford a cell phone. Only the rich can afford a cell phone. So when I first went to Congo, there was actually places where you can go to like a telephone booth that was operated by somebody, and you could make a phone call from there, and call to whoever your relatives were and around the world. So Grameen Bank had these Grameen women that had cell phones that they had bought from from the Grameen Bank, and that's how they got started. So that whole idea has been revolutionary. It has even come to the United States. There is these micro loans in areas in the United States. They're somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,000 to $1,500, and there's a number of different agencies that do those in about 15 different cities in the United States. There's actually one here in Indianapolis that I had never heard of that I got to look up and maybe reach out to them to see what they are doing in that area and who they're serving. But the idea is that we want to serve the people in the Congo by getting a similar activity started. So, it's small loans, not big loans. And what they found out is two things, two important things. Number one, you want to deal with women. The men, they're not going to pay back the loan. And even if they started a business, they would not necessarily take care of their family as a woman would do. Second, you want to make sure that everything is paid back. And you have a group of 5 women together in a cluster, and the 5 women have to agree on who gets the money. You just don't do it on an individual basis. And what you're doing is setting up some peer pressure. They know the woman, they know what idea she has. So not only can they support her in her endeavor, they also can check up to see if she's doing what she said that what she can do, because they know if she defaults on the loan, they're out of luck. They would not get a loan because that money that she pays back will be used to fund other women in the group. So it has a number of different aspects of it that made it successful, and they have achieved a high rate of 99% of their loans are being paid back, and they're over a period of time. One of the things that they do, you develop a payment period that's more suitable for the client, meaning to say you would maybe set up where they pay back by the week versus by the month. The idea of saving up money for a whole month, uh, you can get you into trouble. But if you do it on a weekly basis, and I would even think some of these activities could do it every 2 or 3 days. As cash come in and they replenish their stocks, they could actually go out and start paying their loan back. And they pay it back in cash, and it's to the central agency. So it will be fantastic. So that's been proven over the last 20 some years, and it's very prevalent throughout the world. And like I said, even the United States. I was really surprised that it was being pushed in the United States. But we know the poor don't have banks. That's why you see all these check cashing places around the United States, because they can't even cash their check, pay their loans, that have exorbitant rates. And so, therefore, it's something that we do need in our poor communities. That brings me lastly to a program where Dr. Eunice was speaking to a group of students at college down in Arkansas this morning. It was on a webinar, and also he was on the program with uh, a Mr. Williams from the Southern Bank Corp, and they are a former bank, but they do similar type loans to poor people. So it's all around and everywhere where there's a need for poor people to get started. Microcredit gives them that opportunity. And this is a little different from social um, business because not necessarily the business that they start has to be a social business. It is a profit making business for them because what you want them to do is to get a, a hand up so that they can start taking care of their families, so that they can, adequately provide educational opportunities and all those things. So we're happy that that got started. And however, I have no idea, everything is locked up. So I'm going to end this broadcast. Thank you all for coming on today. Sorry I'm ending it abruptly, but it appears that everything locked up. Okay, maybe we were re came back on, and maybe we lost connectivity. So as I said, I'm going to go ahead and end.